Part 2: The Contract Marriage. Days that followed were unlike anything Athene had expected. Elra remained quiet and obedient, her innocence and vulnerability pulling at something deep inside him. Each time he saw her, her fearful yet dignified demeanor reminded him that she was not at fault. She had been forced into this marriage by circumstances far beyond her control. He began to notice the little things, how she arranged his clothes in the morning, prepared breakfast, and tended to every detail of the house with care, despite the heavy burden she carried in her heart. Ethan's anger at Victoria and the deception slowly transformed into a protective, almost paternal concern for Elra. 2 months later, Elra received the news that would change everything. She was pregnant. The moment she realized, she felt a strange mix of fear and hope. When Ethan learned, his initial reaction was disbelief, but soon it was replaced with a profound, protective joy. This child was theirs, his and hers, and he would do everything to safeguard her. But Victoria's manipulations didn't end. She attempted to poison Elra's milk, hoping to sabotage the pregnancy and regain control over Ethan. Yet Ethan caught her just in time, his fury burning hotter than ever. Victoria, if you ever try to harm her or my child, there will be consequences worse than you can imagine. His warning left Victoria shaken, powerless in front of the man she had tried to manipulate. Ethan moved Elra into a safe room in his own quarters. He watched over her day and night, personally ensuring her comfort, taking her to medical appointments, bringing fresh fruits, and talking to her for hours about anything and everything. He shared updates about her father's recovery, ensuring her that he would protect both her and her family. Elra's heart, once filled with fear and despair, slowly began to thaw. She realized Athens' care was genuine. Despite the first night of terror and the misunderstandings, he saw now her guardian, protector, and the only person she could trust. She kept reminding herself that this was all part of the contract, that once the child was born, she would leave. But deep down, she couldn't deny the growing warmth she felt for Ethan. Meanwhile, Victoria's resentment grew. She watched helplessly as Athens' attention shifted entirely to Elra. Every attempt to interface was met with Athens' cold, unwavering protection. He no longer tolerated her schemes. He saw through every lie. Her grip on him, which had once been ironclad, had dissolved. The months passed, and Elra's pregnancy advanced safely. Athene, who had once despised her presence, now found himself drawn to her in ways he had never imagined. He noticed her laughter, her careful, gentle movements, and the softness in her eyes. He began to admire her resilience, her courage in the face of impossible circumstances, and her unwavering commitment to protect her father. One morning, as the sun bathed the room in warm light, Athene held Elra's hand as she spoke softly. I have kept my promise, Athene. I will honor this contract. But my heart is no longer free to leave. Athene looked into her eyes, seeing her honesty, her fear, and her trust. He smiled gently for the first time, a smile filled with understanding, respect, and a newfound love. Victoria's schemes crumbled completely when the truth of Elra's innocence and the danger she had been in was revealed. Athene confronted her, showing her that manipulation and deceit could not win over honesty and virtue. Finally, the day came when Elra gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby. Athene was there, holding her hand, whispering words of encouragement and love. When the child arrived, Athene felt an overwhelming surge of emotion, joy, love, and the promise of a new beginning. This was his family, his life, his future. Elra, exhausted but happy, looked up at Athene and whispered, "Thank you for believing in me, for protecting me, for loving me." Athene leaned down, his forehead resting against hers. "I never doubt you, Elra. And now we begin our life together, not as strangers, not as contract, but as a family." The shadows of deception had vanished. Victoria, powerless and exposed, left Athene and Elra to live in peace. The bond between Athene and Elra, forged in adversity, fear, and care, had blossomed into true love. The child, a symbol of hope and new beginnings, completed their happiness. In the quiet moments that followed, as the sun set over Los Angeles, Athene held Erla close, whispering promises of protection, love, and unwavering support. Elra rested her head on his chest, finally feeling safe, loved, and truly home. The trials they had faced had tested them, but the love that grew from that darkness was real, unwavering, and eternal. I hope you like the video. Thanks. Subscribe my channel to a new story.